Grace and love, everybody. It's Life Aspects with Visionary Rose. Thank you guys all for tuning in, rocking and watching and listening to the episodes, baby, on Life Aspects with Visionary Rose. Now, I left you guys off with in the last clips with the going within part 1 and the part 2. Real quick, I just want to give you some insight on the safe place. Now, in all my years of living, I never heard of the word safe place until this era of my life. When I think about the word safe place, I do think of it as a common word. I do think of it as a word that is kind of self-explanatory to me. Now, also, when it comes down to the word safe place, y'all know how, like, growing up, we had to let our guardians, whoever that was over us, that we, hey mom, I'm here, or hey dad, I'm here, or hey papa, like, letting someone know, or even a friend know that you're here, or even when people, you be like, let me know when you get home, and then letting them know that you're safe, you're in a safe place. And so when you think about the word safe place on outside of that, now when it comes down to the word safe place, I really want you guys to continue to keep these 4 words that we've been talking about, these 4 words that we've been talking about: the understanding, the acknowledge, and the recognize. This is something that is going to help you sustain you. Now when it comes down to having that safe place, one of the things that I want you to understand is that nobody can do the work for you when it comes down to the safe place. You have to want the help for yourself. You have to want to heal from yourself. You have to want to break away from what it is that doesn't seem to be sustainable for you, and things that are not suitable for you, things that does not fit any type of era that you feel like that you may be in your life. If it doesn't fit for you, then you know that there is something that you have to pull back from. You know that there is something that you have to work on. There's something that you have to do. You may have to maneuver in a different direction, and there's nothing wrong with that. One of the things I also want to say is that don't think because that just because it's a new year that you have to have it all together, or if you even came in this mindset of oh, it's a new year, I'm going to start fresh, I'm going to do this. Because one of the things about trying to have everything down to it by its T, or trying to oh, it's the first of the year type thing, or it's just the first of the month type thing, learning how to take things step by step. You don't always have to especially things that you're trying to get incorporated with their life. Sometimes you have to lay it all out and analyze it out what it is, doing that understanding. Sometimes it's okay to not have it all directly the way that you want it, all directly the way that you see it, because sometimes there are some areas in our lives that does need to be refreshed. And when I mean by refreshed, going back to when I did that video of old parts of you shedding off. Now listen, getting in depth to when it talks about this safe place, that the acknowledge. But before you acknowledge, I definitely want you to grasp a hold onto the understanding and the understanding, because internally you feel those emotions. It's the consciousness that comes with it, and then the mental life that you already know that comes with it as well too. So it's a mental thing. And so as you're mentally thinking about your life and mentally thinking about the things that you want to probably even change in your life, or probably even want to break away from, it could be drugs, it could be alcohol, it could be sex, it could be from bad relationships, it could even be breaking from the cycle of bad parenting, it could be even from breaking from a cycle of listening to other people, or even just breaking of a cycle of so many different things. It's a lot of things that I can't even name a list of things, or the number one cycle of even trying to keep your head into the game. And the reason why I say keeping your head into the game, because your head could be in the game in one area, but it's like you got one foot in the door but one foot out in this particular area of your life. And then so those places to where you want to feel vulnerable and say, in those places, in those safe places to where you want to feel vulnerable, in those places to where you want to feel open and talk. So having that discernment and that intuition when you come in contact with these support groups, being in those drug abuse, those alcohol abuse, where you're in therapy, you got to realize most therapists are not going to tell you that they can't help you. They're going to take your money, which is why the discernment and intuition is very, very key, because you don't want to sit in front of somebody and be talking to them and they know deep down inside that they can't help you, but they just gonna continue to just act like they can. You got to break away from that. But then this is where you have to acknowledge and recognize, and also have that understanding and the understanding. You gotta include all 4, incorporate all 4, because it's going to sustain you. It's going to help you for your life. You will never not need to not understand. You will never not need to not understand. You will never not need to not acknowledge. You will never not need to recognize. Like it's basics. It's like well, I know I gotta pay the light bill this month because I want to have the lights on. You know, I understand that if I don't pay this light bill, that the lights is going to be turned off. Like, you mentally understand that, you know, that if this doesn't get paid, that this is going to be cut off, or if you don't do this, you're not going to achieve this. If you don't get up and take a shower, you gonna be stinking. If you don't put deodorant on, you gonna be musty. If you don't take care of your skin, if you don't drink water or use the proper skincare products for your skin, or even try to you know, find different ways to figure out what it is, you gonna have bad skin if you don't take care of it the way that you're supposed to take care of, or even find the remedies to take care of it, whether it's home remedies or whether it's remedies that you find on YouTube or you find from, you know, even in your social groups that you're talking with. But you're never not going to not need those 4 things. You're never not going to not need that. You can try to go a whole day without not needing the understanding and the understanding. I don't care if you waking up and you trying to brush your teeth. You gonna need that. You gonna need that. You gonna need 4 of them things. You recognize that your breath's thinking that you need to brush your teeth. Come on now. You recognize that. You recognize it. Did don't when you smell it. Ooh, I recognize that. Yeah, you recognize it. So even like in those even in those support groups and things that you are, you know, coming in contact with people, I see y'all in the next clip. I see y'all.